Wida Mehran grew up under Taliban rule in the 1990s. As a teenager, she describes being held hostage in her own home and being deprived of an education. Wida joins us live tonight. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. What is going through your mind when you see what is happening right now?
It is a very horrific situation. It's frightening for millions of Afghans who are trapped there in Afghanistan, for women and girls in Afghanistan who fear that they cannot gain an education, that they cannot go to their works, that they would be like me. During the 1990s, they will be trapped inside their houses and they cannot get an education. And that can be quite a frightening situation for millions. And on top of that, let's not forget also minority groups who are frightened, who fear for their lives, that they might actually become targets for the Taliban, that the Taliban might retaliate against them, and government officials and women's rights activists, that they do fear for their life. It's a very frightening and horrific situation. And at the speed that the Taliban took over the country, it has been shocking for a lot of Afghans. Many could not leave the country who wanted to leave. Many could not who qualify for some of these schemes by the government of Canada, by the US or the UK. They qualify for those visa schemes that they could get out of the country, but they did not have time to prepare their documents and get their visas.
I want to talk to you more about something you just said about living there and what you experienced and why there is so much fear now. What was life like for you as a young girl, as a teen? What was so horrific about living there at that time and what you were deprived of?
It was horrific because it was a life that we had to live inside our houses, that we could not leave our homes as women and girls without being accompanied by male member of the families. Many women did not have a male member of the family who could accompany them outside. So it's a feeling of being imprisoned inside your own home, and also a feeling of hopelessness, that you cannot change the situation and there is nobody to help you out. And that also, it's devaluing human life. Women's life had no value for the Taliban. And they imposing all those sanctions, all those restrictions on women's lives in Afghanistan, imposing restrictions on their movements, imposing restrictions on women's decisions, whether they could actually do what they wanted to do. Those are essentially ended up in a very difficult life for women in Afghanistan.
Are you concerned? Pardon me, but are you concerned with what we're hearing right now, that the Taliban says things are different, things have changed, we want things to be different, we want women to have rights under Islamic rule? Do you believe that to be true?
I want to believe that it's true, and I want to believe that the Taliban have changed. I was listening to Zabihullah Mujahid, the Taliban's spokesperson, who appeared for the first time on TV today, and he promised that women's rights will be ensured under the Taliban's rule, and that women and freedom of speech would be ensured. However, here he imposed a condition, and that is that women's rights would be ensured within the framework of Sharia law. This is the exact same thing that the Taliban were saying when they were in power back in 1990s as well. The first time that Taliban took over Afghanistan, they never said that women can never go to schools, they can never work, but they just said, once we provide security for women, girls can go to school, a particular type of school, and we will ensure their rights under Sharia law. Although the situation—
Let me stop you right there. When you say Sharia law, what do you mean? Explain that to people at home.
what I would mean by Sharia law might be different from what the Taliban interprets Sharia law.
How?
The Taliban's interpretation of Sharia law is very strict form of laws based on Islamic Sharia, Islamic jurisprudence, and the way the Taliban have interpreted Sharia law, it can be quite restrictive of women's rights and restrictive of a lot of freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of practice, religious practice. For women, it can infringe their freedoms quite significantly. And the type of Sharia law that the Taliban used to impose in Afghanistan, and it appears to be the case right now, is a sort of draconian law that is not common amongst many Islamic countries. So their interpretation of Sharia is quite restricted.
Okay. Well, Wida, what I know about you is you grew up under the Taliban, but you were able to get out. You and your family were able to get to Pakistan. You went on to get your master's. You went on to get your PhD. And as I read in a really powerful op-ed that you wrote in the last 24 hours, that was a way of showing the Taliban that you could. So I hope that by joining us and by sharing your story, many young girls in Afghanistan and watching all over the world will hear that and feel as though they too have a chance. Thank you for joining us tonight.